Detroit Pistons getting a win last night at home, 108-93 against the Chicago Bulls. And the Pistons, notably, of course, shorthanded in this one. Missing 3 starters, including their 2 best players. Cade Cunningham out with a right wrist contusion. Jalen Duren, of course, out with a right ankle sprain. Missed the team's previous game as well. And the Pistons still without Tobias Harris as well. Business as usual. And how about beef stew? Isaiah Stewart stepping up career high, 31 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 14 of 17 shooting. Easily best game of this guy's career. It's crazy that he only pulled down 3 rebounds as well, because normally this guy is usually a rebound machine. But man, Isaiah Stewart stepping up. And how about off the bench? Dennis Jenkins had a very poor shooting game, 1 of 8, but 6 rebounds, 15 assists, just 1 turnover as well. So really stepping up in the playmaking duties with the absence of Cade Cunningham, of course. Duncan Robinson, couple threes, 12 points. Osar Thompson, 11 points. And 11 points each off the bench for Ron Holland and for Javonte Green. And again, the Detroit Pistons, I think it's time to start talking about JB Bickerstaff as front runner, not just a candidate, but front runner for Coach of the Year. Because not only this Pistons team making the jump from the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference last year to, pretty much the entire first half of the season being the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. How impressive that has been, but not only that, but this Pistons team's ability to keep playing well as a team despite injuries. Of course, we had that double-digit win streak earlier in the season with this Pistons team, and a good chunk of that was done with injuries. Duren missing some time in that, Tobias Harris missing some time in that, Karis LeVert missing some time in that, and yes, even Cade Cunningham missing a game or 2 in there. And the Pistons just could not stop winning. They keep winning games. And, of course, last night, no exception. They just keep finding ways to win, keep finding ways to have different guys step up. Like, even last night, Isaiah Stewart. This is a defensive player. As a matter of fact, named the December Eastern Conference Player of the Month in the NBA. Defense is this guy's bread and butter. He is not an offensive player. And for him to go 14 of 17, that's great. Having this guy step up offensively is just incredible. And just everybody just kind of playing a role. Really well spread scoring effort. Besides Isaiah Stewart, very even among the rest of the team. 9 points, 8 points, 11 points in there. It's like a college output from this team. And that's what's just most impressive. And that's why I think JB Bickerstaff, should be the front runner for NBA's Coach of the Year, because just his ability not only to maximize the talent of your roster, which at the end of the day, that's what good coaches do. They maximize the talent that they have in front of them. It's not just, by default, the best team in the NBA, that coach gets Coach of the Year. It's not necessarily that. It's about maximizing talent. And I think we talked about how wide open the Eastern Conference is this season, even going into the season. We can see just how wide open it is now to have the Pistons make the jump from number 6 to number 1. And just to be able to win a bunch of these games with these injuries is just impressive. It doesn't matter what group of guys is out on the floor. It just seems like, JB Bickerstaff, he's going to find a way to coach these guys to play hard, to play Detroit Pistons basketball, and to get the win. So absolutely impressive stuff by this Detroit Pistons team. And for a little bit of the game, it was pretty close all game. And there was a stretch there in the third quarter. The Bulls actually able to build a 7-point lead. But then at that point, the Pistons turning it around, able to flip it slightly in their favor, not too much. It's not like they totally, flipped the switch and, dominated from there. Still kind of close. In the fourth quarter, it was just a 5-point lead for the Pistons, but they're able to end the game on a 18-8 run, pull away late, and get the win. Now, of course, I will say the Pistons, they were not the only injured team in this game. The Bulls did have some injuries as well. Josh Giddey, probably their best player this season, he was out. Kobe White was out as well. Nikola Vucevic had a pretty good game, 20 points, 16 rebounds. Ayo Dosunmu with 24 points off the bench. But still, this Pistons team, without their two best players as well, continue to play well, and they get another win. So again, I'm impressed. Pistons just keep finding ways to win games. 28-9. We're approaching the halfway mark. What are we, 37 games in for the Pistons? So in 4 games, that will be officially halfway through the season. They got a 4-game lead for first place. The Knicks now right behind them in second. The Celtics had their, 4 or 5 game winning streak snapped last night at the hands of the Nikola Jokic-less Denver Nuggets. But again, you're starting to see that separation. You got the Pistons, a little bit of a drop-off, 4 games. And then you got the Knicks, Celtics, and Raptors kind of clustered in there. And then after that, you got like another 4-team cluster, 5 through 8. Sixers, Magic, Cavs, and Heat. I got to keep mentioning it. Cavs, a bit of a letdown this season compared to where they were last year. And even the Magic. The Magic, a lot of people thought they were going to make a big jump this year, and they really haven't. I mean, they're starting to kind of be a playoff mainstay in the Eastern Conference, but a lot of people thought they would maybe slip into the top 3 or 4. I wasn't really that high on them. I do like some of the young talent they have on that team, but I didn't really expect them to make that big of a jump like the Pistons did, of course. Raptors are a bit surprising. Sixers, I didn't know where to put them based on their injuries last year. Even at full health, they were really not that great of a team. Heat in the mix. You got the Hawks, who we'll get to that later in the show. They just traded Trae Young last night to the Washington Wizards, one of the worst teams in the NBA. And then, of course, you got the Bulls routing out the play-in. So the Pistons, again, they've been that one team in the East that's maintained consistency, and that is huge for a team trying to make that jump from good team to great team, is that consistency. Consistent winning. You don't go on really any losing streaks, especially extended losing streaks, like even, 3-4 games, has not happened this year for the Pistons. The most they've lost in a row is just 2. But they've been able to pad that out with a bunch of winning streaks. They take care of the teams that they're supposed to. And even in games like last night, when they have some injuries piling up, they still find ways to win these games. So, as the season rolls along, I just get more and more impressed by this Pistons team. And the more and more it looks like this team is a legit team in the Eastern Conference and not just, one of those early season mirages. Like we saw earlier, specifically this Chicago Bulls team, they came out of the gates red hot as well, even beat the Pistons on opening night. And they have since fallen off. But this Pistons team hasn't. As a matter of fact, they continue to look even stronger as the season has rolled along. So the Pistons are off the next 2 days. They will next be in action on Saturday against the LA Clippers. We'll see if the Pistons maybe get some reinforcements for that one. Looking at the early injury report, Cade, Duren, both game-time decisions, and Tobias Harris still out with a hip injury. And keep in mind, the Clippers, they obviously just handed the Pistons a pretty big loss right there at the end of December. And that was right when the Clippers started to kind of get hot. I mean, they were one of the biggest letdowns in the NBA this season. Everybody thought that they, could make a jump in the West. They really started not just, flat, but just horrifically one of the worst teams in the NBA, as a matter of fact. They kind of turned around. They had a 6-game winning streak. They've since lost 2 of their last 3, so maybe slowing down their momentum. But this Pistons team, you can tell they like getting that revenge. They got revenge in their last game over the New York Knicks after last year's first-round playoff series. They got revenge recently against the Cavs, who handed them a pretty bad loss earlier in the season. So I look forward to this Pistons having a chance to get some revenge against the LA Clippers. That one coming at home on Saturday evening.
If you missed today's installment of On the Docket, podcast it at foxsports1019.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to tune in live weekdays at noon on Jackson's Fox Sports 101.9 FM.